Hi, and today at Commizen Dojo, we'll be learning about fractions. So let's get started then. Now, if you were to Google up the definition of fractions, it would show that a fraction is a part of a whole. So, a fraction is a part of a whole. Now, keep that in mind, we'll be getting back to that later on. So, first of all, let's try to understand what fractions are. And for that, we'll be taking up the classic pizza example. So, right here, let's say we have some pizza with us. And this pizza, it is made up of 6 slices. So this pizza is made up of 6 slices. Now you happen to be super duper hungry. So what you go ahead and do is that you take out one slice. So what you can say is that you took one slice out of the 6 slices. So you took one slice out of the 6 slices. Now another way of representing the statement is by writing it like this. 1 upon 6, where you had a total of 6 slices of pizza and you took one slice out of those 6 slices. And ladies and gentlemen, this 1 upon 6 right over here, this 1 upon 6 is called a fraction. This 1 upon 6 is called a fraction. I said 1 upon 6 too many times. So right here, this 1 upon 6 is called a fraction. Now if you remember, I told you that a fraction is a part of a whole. Now this pizza example, we had a total of 6 slices with us. So we had a total of 6 slices. And you took one slice out of those 6 slices. So what you can go ahead and say is that you took one part of the pizza out of the total of 6 parts. So this is what a fraction is. Now I know it sounds a bit confusing, but with time everything starts to clear up with practice and everything. So now that we know what a fraction is, let's take a look at the components of a fraction. And for that we'll be taking the fraction 1 upon 6 only. So right here we have the fraction 1 upon 6. Now in the fraction 1 upon 6, we have this line with us. This line is super important. Now the number above this line, that number is called the numerator. So over here 1 is the numerator. Now on the other hand, the number below this line, that number is called the denominator. And over here 6 is the denominator. And if you're wondering, this line over here, this line is called the vinculum. That sounds cool, no? Like the USS Vinculum. Or Vinculum could be the name of a planet or something. So let's get back to the topic. So these are the 3 important components of a fraction. So keep these in mind. So now that we know what fractions are and its components, let's take a look at some examples. So right here 1 upon 3, 1 upon 6, 2 upon 7, 7 upon 3, 9 upon 12, etc. Now all of these are examples of fractions. Now over here if you take a look at the fraction 1 upon 3. Now in the fraction 1 upon 3, the numerator 1 is smaller than the denominator 3. So the numerator 1 is smaller than the denominator 3. Now fractions in which the numerator is smaller than the denominator, those fractions are called proper fractions. Now on the other hand, if you take a look at the fraction 7 upon 3. Now over here the numerator 7 is greater than the denominator 3. So the numerator 7 is greater than the denominator 3. Now fractions in which the numerator is greater than the denominator, those fractions are called improper fractions. Now keep these two terms in mind and try to remember them. So these are 2 types of fractions. So today we learnt about what fractions are, the components of a fraction, and 2 different types of fractions. So before we conclude a lesson, I would like to show you a small meme, of course. So here's the meme. Okay, now it sounds lame. So teachers when they start teaching kids about fractions, pizza time. And that's what we just did. Took the classic pizza example. So today we learned about fractions. I hope you found this lesson interesting. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye. 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 Okay, no, seriously, bye. Bye.